You know, I think I actually enjoyed this movie more than I enjoyed Across the Spider-Verse. Yeah, now go ahead and tell me I'm shit in the comments section. Hello everyone, welcome back to a 4DX 3D review. We got the special spicy extra 4DX treatment today. There was only 2 screenings of this movie in 3D, and one of them was just regular Real D, and one of them was 4DX, and both of them were early in the morning. This screening that I went to was actually at 9:35 in the morning. Because The Flash has also come out this same weekend, a lot of the screens have been taken up by that. So once again, Ezra Miller can't help himself but ruin everyone's good time. Elemental was not a movie that I was actually looking forward to see. I had low expectations, I had no interest. After Disney releasing Strange World being so bad, after Lightyear was so bad, I was like, this movie is just gonna be, it's just gonna be nothing. I'm just gonna be sitting there like, okay, great, wow, it's basically just Garbo, But I'll have to say, the trailers for this movie make it look more boring than it actually is. This is a very emotional, very interesting, visually stunning movie, and the previews just make it look really generic and bland. I can't believe it, but you're gonna have to trust me. This is a very good movie. What is it about? I keep talking about how good it is. It's about a girl named Ember who is poised to take over her father's shop when her father's shop floods and she meets a guy named Wade Ripple. And together they have to work out why the shop is flooding and solve the issue before her father's shop gets shut down. And along the way, the two start a friendship, which blossoms into a romance, and it is just very good. This movie visually is stunning. We expect this sort of thing out of Pixar. I know a lot of people are getting tired of this sort of generic, realistic looking CG movie, and people want to move more towards a Spider-Verse type of thing. This movie still looks exceptional. I really was pulled into Ember's plight about her being torn between wanting to uphold her father's legacy versus wanting to do her own thing. She is a very engaging character, and so is Wade. Both of them have a lot of chemistry, and they both also work very well on their own. This movie does a great job at building their main characters, and I really liked both of them, and you really are rooting for them to work things out, to make things happen. There's a lot of fun twists and turns in this movie that I won't give away, but I don't know why, but I was shocked when the things happened, and I was like, wow, I didn't see that coming. I should have seen it coming, but I didn't. I don't want to say too much more for fear of spoiling it. It's just a really solid, not even like a rom-com, just like a good, solid movie about two people connecting and understanding more about themselves. I don't know what else more to say about it. I know that doesn't sound like there's a lot to the movie, but there really is. There is a short that plays before this movie called Carl's Date, which is the last voice acting role that Ed Asner did before he passed away. It's just a kind of okay, cute-ish little short. It's basically, you know the Doug Disney Plus series that they had? It's basically just that, but put into a short. And in 3D, which I was surprised to see that short was done up in 3D, but I guess since the screening was in 3D, they wanted to make that in 3D as well. And it also had 4DX effects. That was really surprising. They really went all out for this one final short for Ed. Anyway, let's talk about the 3D in this movie. The 3D in Elemental is fantastic. I was actually blown away at how deep the 3D was, how much pop out there was, the hyper stereo, everything about it. Some of the shots were just incredible in 3D. There are specific moments that I can remember that really wowed me. That finger point you just saw, this Wade's finger, that's Wade as a child. It comes all the way out of the screen. There are moments where Ember gets really frustrated and angry and she literally blows up, and the camera always zooms in on her face, and her face is like growing and her face is coming out of the screen, and then when she explodes there's like this huge blast of smoke and fire and sparks that fly out at you. There's a scene where Ember and Wade are in an impromptu hot air balloon, and the gorgeous 3D views when they're so up high, and despite things being far away, they still have a lot of volume and depth to them. The 3D in this movie is fantastic, and it does utilize it very well. If you are planning on seeing this movie, I would highly recommend the 3D version, because I was just floored at how a movie that doesn't even sound like it would have good 3D moments or a good fit for 3D, it's essentially a romance, had fantastic 3D. And if this does get a 3D Blu-ray release, which I really hope it does, I will be picking it up. I thoroughly enjoyed this movie, way more than I expected to. I mean, I didn't expect to enjoy it at all or be interested the entire time, but it really pulled me in. And the 3D was also just as phenomenal. They did a lot of fun stuff with it. There's lots of things that go into the screen that are already out of the screen, things that come out of the screen, lots of hyper stereo shots. If you are a fan of 3D movies, I would say that this is probably a must-see in 3D. Unfortunately, because The Flash is out, there are very few screenings of this movie in 3D, so you're probably going to have to go either super early in the day or super late at night, because that's usually when they shove the screenings that they don't really care about people going to see. But this is a very well done 3D movie. The 4DX effects were fun too, lots of water blasts, lots of air blasts as well. No fire effects for obvious reasons. But I also do want to note that when the Disney logo was playing and the fireworks were going off, there was like little light bulbs that were flashing in the ceilings, the fireworks popped. That was really cool. Elemental is an exceptional Pixar film. It was emotional. I did feel myself getting choked up at the end. It was just really solid, and I might even end up seeing this movie again. I really did enjoy it. I'm really glad that Pixar still has it. I was getting very worried with their last several releases just kind of either being straight up garbage or okay. But Elemental has shown that they do have the potential to still show great stories, great emotional stories with fantastic visuals and phenomenal 3D to boot. The marketing just does not do this movie justice. It does clock in at 1 hour and 50 minutes, which is the same runtime that Lightyear had. However, this movie does feel appropriately paced, and it does take advantage of this longer runtime to give Wade and Ember more time to do things together. That is all for this video. I'm still working on the Little Mermaid review, still adding stuff to it, and I'm also going to be working on the King's Dominion 3D video after I'm done doing that, or maybe I'll get the King's Dominion one out sooner because that won't take as long to edit. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this review. Go check out Elemental in 3D. It is absolutely worth it. The 3D is stunning, and I will see you guys next time.